make sure that it runs on your local machine first. Otherwise, you can't even say it runs on my machine, right?
Yeah, first development.
So it runs. But the firewall has blocked. Okay, the port number. I don't care. You got it. So I have to deploy. I have to push it first on the GitHub. Okay, my changes are here. I can see it.
It's fun working that slow music.
Lo-fi.
Yeah, lo-fi.
It's only fun when the code is running. Otherwise, it's not fun.
Like I feel relaxed.
I don't care if I relax. I just want to run the code. If it runs, then it runs. I think I'm gonna miss it again. Play that song. That song was
No,
good.
no, no, I'm watching the video. I'll play it.
Oh yeah, good.
It's for like the
Yeah,
question.
it's fine.
Well, that's one thing I noticed about you. You can work in like cloud environment. Some people can do it.
I can work anywhere. I
You
just
can
need.
work in like a place where people are yelling, right?
Yeah, I don't care.
You don't, you don't get distracted by noise. Maybe by other things you get distracted.
I think this Copilot is messing up with me.
GitHub Copilot.
I don't know how long it will take, but I'm not gonna leave until this backend is deployed. I have other things to do as well. But yeah.
choice to our specific needs. It was seamless. At Regeneron, we provide so much to people, Webster. Innovation is the name of the game. It drives everything we do. It's really cool because we go from a really big thought, really big idea, all the way to seeing the impact on a person. We have a healthy dose of optimism and just enough naivete to think anything's possible. When you think about the ethos of this company, what you'll hear over and over again is science, 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 science leads and science dictates. But I think what keeps us all grounded is the fact that these are people that want to help people.
Let's take a moment to understand what a software engineer is, so we can sort of get a better idea of the big picture of computer programming in general. And you might be thinking, well, don't software engineers just write software? And yes, that's true, but there's so much more to that story, so let's try and dissect it for our own understanding. Engineering in general is, in a bare-bones sort of way, the application of scientific and mathematical principles along with experimentation to the design and creation of things, whether it's a civil engineer designing a high-speed rail system, or an electrical engineer designing a solar power system, or an aerospace engineer designing a new Boeing aircraft. The bottom line is that something's being innovated, designed, and built to solve some problem or fill some need. The interesting thing about software engineers, however, the things they create aren't as physically tangible as all these other realms of engineering. Software engineers are creating worlds that are governed by their own sets of rules and are powered by computer systems in order to solve problems much more efficiently than humans can do on their own. So here we have a list of the sort of roles a software engineer has to be able to assume in order to properly complete his or her job. This list is taken from the Java Methods textbook by Maria and Gary Litvin, and it really does a good job at putting into perspective the scope of a career in software engineering. Let's go through them, one by one, and get a better understanding of what each component really means. So we said that software engineers are basically creating their own worlds that are powered by computer systems. These worlds need some sort of architecture in order to function properly, and as a result, the software engineer has to be the one to make sure that all the data, all the instructions in the software system are represented properly and efficiently. For example, let's consider Microsoft Word. I can type up some text in a Word document, I could add in some images, I can make hyperlinks, I could cut and paste chunks of my doc, I could export it as a PDF, I could send it to my printer, I could add comments. There are a lot of features and functions that need to happen in conjunction in order for Microsoft Word to be a useful program for me to use. And software engineers are the ones who are creating that architecture in the background so that can happen. Let's move on to the next point. When software engineers are solving problems, the solution isn't easy to find. For example, if an engineer at Lockheed Martin is designing some new tech that can detect missiles and other dangerous objects and deal with them accordingly, it's going to need a lot of different inputs from different sensors, and it'll need to take a lot of calculations to determine the best possible route to take. As a result, that engineer has to be able to write an algorithm to sort of quantitatively document this procedure that the computer software needs to go through. In general, an algorithm is a step-by-step recipe or set of instructions that dictates how a certain task should be done or how a certain problem should be solved. Well, how are these algorithms written? How is a computer program written? Computer programs are written in code, but more specifically in a programming language. And as a result, a programmer needs to be able to understand and use programming languages throughout their career. And it's not like you learn Java once and become a Java programmer for life. Depending on your job, your role in a company, or the project you're working on, you have to work with various programming languages throughout your life. So that's what this third point means. Syntax and style basically refers to the quote-unquote grammar of programming language. But keep in mind, what's more important is understanding the concepts of programming itself. And once you have that down, you'll be much more adaptable and flexible in learning the new programming languages you'll come across in the future. When you're writing code for programs, however, you're not just typing inside of a Microsoft Word document. Your code needs to be written in a development environment based on what language you're writing in and what task you're trying to accomplish, which we can think of as sort of a program inside of which we write our own programs. Software engineers need to know how to use these development environments and all of their tools. In addition to development environments, software engineers also need to know about available documentation, which is basically like reference books for code and programming, and reusable software components, which are chunks of code that are already written since they're used so often. These make writing new code much more efficient, since you don't have to reinvent the wheel every time. You gather what's already been written and then build on top of that.
I think I might need to watch that YouTube video again. I was laughing at that dude to be because he was so noob. He ain't noob. I'm the noob. I can't even see the errors. Isn't that?
We've added this code to Vercel.json. Let's break down what each section means for our deployment. Version our app needs. Instead of typing them manually, we'll use a quick command to do the work for us. You should see the command appear on your screen. Alright, time to shift gears. Let's head over to GitHub, create a new repository, and smooth deployment to Vercel. And don't miss a step. Okay, let's bring our Flask project into Vercel. Hold on, we've got an error. Perfect. All your GitHub repositories, simply pick the you don't need to change any settings here. Let's go ahead and click Deploy. Now, Vercel will do its magic. Give it a minute or two to work. Analyze the message and points us to the Vercel.json. Okay, the error points us to the Vercel.json file. Let's open that up and see what might be amiss. Oops, someone, definitely me.
Oh, it doesn't support Python 3.12.
What
It
does
only supports up till 3.9.
you can downgrade?
I have to change the
I don't think I will
requirement.
change. Because you didn't use 3.12.
I don't know. I
I
use
don't think
I have 3.12 on my local machine.
I don't think you use this one. Like your code will still be okay at 3.6.
I hope I have a requirement dot txt. Automatically deploys. Again, the same error.
our Flask app. Now that we've added this code to Vercel.json, let's break down what each section means for our deployment. Version 2 specifies the Vercel configuration file format we're using. Builds, this tells Vercel how to build our project. Routes, this
To be a software engineer, I think I need to have more patience, but
What
more.
will you hire?
I want more.
I can tell your upbringing is like a struggle, like a tested. I
Not
think it
much.
might be how Codas.
Not much.
Like it's nothing like America. Like people are out to fuck you and stuff. That's what I feel. I don't know.
I have removed the redeploy. Okay. I thought it will redeploy again automatically. It's not like Netlify, but still I got the same error.
controls how Vercel handles incoming web
I don't
requests.
have remote with
And
me.
You can play a movie.
I don't want to demonetize this video as well. I'll play non-English songs.
We opened our business in downtown Phoenix in 2010. Taking that leap of faith was terrifying. Being an entrepreneur is really hard. We have a 9-year-old and a 20-month-old. As a parent and a business owner, I worry about expenses every day. When I was pregnant with Ogan, I would add up the cost of groceries, diapers, healthcare. I remember thinking, how are we going to do this? How does anyone do this? When the economy slowed down, we were hanging on by a thread. electrolytes has smart boost technology for the most effective stain removal and longer lasting fabrics. Now available in new laundry towel.
And here's a heads up, it's best to leave this Vercel.json exactly as is unless you're really comfortable with Vercel customizations. Let's ensure a smooth deployment with a requirements.txt file. This tells Vercel the exact modules our app needs. Instead of typing them manually, we'll use a quick command to do the work for us. You should see the command appear on your screen. Alright, time to shift gears. Let's head over to GitHub, create a new repository, and upload our project files. Now, let's be careful and add files to our repository exactly as I'm doing. This will ensure a smooth deployment to Vercel.
Greetings friends, today we are going to learn how we can deploy our Flask application onto a server for free. For this, I'll be borrowing one of the templates from our former videos and change it to Flask developer. In this video, I will be using a GitHub repository to deploy my code onto the server. So let's see how this can be done. We will start by forking this Git repository as a base project which is available on our GitHub account. The link for the same will be available in the description. So let's fork it, then open it in our favorite text editor. Here we need to do the following link. So open up a new tab and enter zeet.co/r/cipher and press enter. So the first thing that you might want to do when you reach the Zeet homepage will be to press login at the top right corner and enter the credentials for your GitHub account. This will allow Zeet to access your repositories, identify who you are, and make the process of deployment much easier. With just 2 clicks, we were able to log into our GitHub account. Now, if you come to the pricing tabs on
Great logo and a beautiful website. Just start with a domain, a few clicks, and you're in business. Make now the feature at godaddy.com/arrow.
Hey everyone, in our previous two videos we had built the backend and the front end of our PDF splitter application. The backend was written in PyPDF2 and the front end was written in Flask. In this video we are going to take this application that was developed by. So now let's Okay, it's taking a while for it to load. And this will be the working directory wherever our code would be present. Now the first thing we need to do here is create a web app. So let me head over to web here. And now let me create a new web app. So this will be the domain name of our application, flask.example.pythonanywhere.com. So now let me click next, and we are going to create a Flask application. And the version of Python that I'm running is 3.6. So let me choose 3.6. And this will be the working directory wherever our code would be present. And now this is going to create a folder where all our code would be present. So now let me just visit this website. So it is a sample Flask app that Python Anywhere has created for us. So it is just hello from Flask. So now what we are going to do is we are going to go to files and upload our code that we had written over here. So my site is where all the application logic or the code is present. Let me delete this sample file generated by Python Anywhere. So now let me upload the files that we had written earlier. So let me see where those files are located. So those files, so it is just hello from Flask. So now what we are going to do is we are going to go to files and upload our code that we had written over here. So I don't want to do right now. So now the first thing we need to do here is create a web app. So let me head over to web here. And now let me create a new web app. So this will be the domain name of our application, flask.example.pythonanywhere.com. So now let me click next, and we are going to create a Flask application. And the version of Python that I'm running is 3.6. So let me choose 3.6. And this will be the working directory wherever our code would be present. And now this is going to create a folder where all our code would be present. So now let me just visit this website. So it is a sample Flask app that Python Anywhere has created for us. So it is just hello from Flask. So now what we are going to do is we are going to go to files and upload our code that we had written over here. So my site is where all the application. So it is just hello from Flask. So now what we are going to do is we are going to go to files and upload our code that we had written over here. So my site is where all the application logic or the code is present. Let me delete this sample file generated by Python anyway. Okay, let me just front end. There's one more to tap. One. So now we have written whatever the code we had written locally, we have uploaded it to this my site directly. So this was the two Python codes, and then there is this directory where the templates are present. So now what we need to do is let's head over to web. So now here this WSGI file needs to be edited. So this is the default app that Python Anywhere had created. We need to replace this with our application. So my Flask frontend, the file name was app.py. So let me just replace it with app. So from app, it is going to import it as an application. So WSGI by default. Needs this. So here you can see that I've not imported the modules yet. Go to console and then go to bash because we need the pip command to install the respective modules. Is that no module name py-pdf2. So let's go ahead and import this respective module. So to do that, you have to head over to console. and then go to bash because we need the pip commands to install the respective modules. So once this loads up, it's going to it's still if there was any other error. Let's see if there was any other error that we had got here. So that was in no module in PyPDF2 and nothing else. So it's still loading the bash environment as Flask with 2K virtual environment and then PDF2 and nothing else. So it's still loading the bash interpreter. This is one, I can't say really disadvantage because we're already using the free version. But yeah, if you had selected the pro version, it would have been a bit faster. So let's create a virtual environment to install our packages. So it is make virtual env. And then let's name our virtual environment as Flask with 2Ks. And then, yeah, that is probably it. So it's okay. By default, if you don't provide Python here, it's going to choose Python 2.7, which is not what we are using. So let's not do that. We'll create a virtual environment with Python 3 itself. So now we have to head over to this virtual environment directory and delete this. So let me duplicate this. So it by default chooses Python 2.7, which is not actually a good thing. So let me exit out of this and then go to File, Virtual env. So this is the virtual env with Python 2.7 that was created. Let's delete it. And now we'll create a new.
Well, I heard it was pretty cool. I heard the K-pop like upstairs.
Yeah, their songs are catchy.
I think it's the beat. It's like
Yeah, catchy
it's
beats.
the beat. Like it's not even the lyrics. I don't think.
Lyrics we don't understand. We are running on the virtual environment. All the ports are used, man. Which port should I go for? Permission denied? They also use the N word again and again. This means
Yeah,
that
but
means something else.
Korean is okay.
That word means something else in all the.
And in Egyptian Arabic, anagrai means I'm going.
And in Marathi it means go away.
Oh,
Nigha means go away.
oh, I didn't know. So an Egyptian might say anagrai. You might think he's saying I'm gay, but he's saying I'm
Parents
going.
escaped Vietnam during the Vietnam War. They started a small restaurant just before I was born, which is where I pretty much grew up. And I learned what it takes to build a business and raise a family. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are investing in businesses.
That's the biggest joke.
And we just
Yeah.
opened a new location.
They are the most corrupt politicians, right?
What they're saying is that they're giving small business more opportunities, but it's a lie, for sure. It's a lie.
If that was true,
Obama leveraged taxes for small business. Like, fuck this. He just wants to, like, suck people's cock.
that's definitely not true.
Joe Biden? Hell yeah. He's just trying to, like, please people. That's what Democrats do. Just don't fall for it. That's the thing.
I'm not
I know
American.
you won't, but
I'm
like,
not an
a
American
lot
voter.
of people follow it. Not even Indian people follow it. Like old Indian people.
I mean, I'm not a voter.
If you voted for Joe Biden and are against the Palestinian massacre, then you can fuck yourself. Like,
I can't vote anyone.
I know
Man.
that I'm not talking about you. I'm saying like anyone who did that, it's even Muslims. They can fuck themselves. Like, how can you say that you're voting for Biden and you're against this? What's going on? Like, fuck it. Same with Obama. Anyone who voted for Obama can like fuck themselves. I mean, that's just my opinion.
I'm not American. I'm not a voter. So whatever I say doesn't count. They are the most famous one, I think.
Plastic?
So this is twice.
I actually like it.
Twice are
I had,
better.
to, I had to warm up to it. That's
Twi-
one thing. I had to warm up to this.
Twice are better, man. I need to use port 5000, but I already tried it. It didn't work. I'll play a song that I like. Can I search while playing?
No.
This sucks. They have look at the views. They have like 500 million.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they have good fan following.
The Smart Boost technology for the most effective stain removal and longer lasting fabrics. Electrolux Laundry. Save up to $800 at Electrolux and participating.
Oh, शुरू हो गया मेरा ऐप.
What are you even doing? I thought it worked.
अरे Vercel is not supporting Python, so I used another I can.
Yeah, you don't use Python. I mean, like,
It doesn't support any of the Python, any. So I'm just using. There is a website called Python Anywhere. You can just deploy on it for free, 3 months. As soon as I played this song, I think this song bring me luck. You might not like this one. It's running, but it is slow.
but this isn't good to study. Go find it. But it's good to study.
I just need to change the IP address.
We opened our business in downtown Phoenix in 2010.
Taking that leap of faith,
Was terrifying.
being an entrepreneur is really hard. We have a 9-year-old and a 20-month-old. As a parent and a business owner, I worry about expenses every day.
When I was pregnant with Oaken, I would add up the cost of groceries, diapers, healthcare. I remember thinking, how are we going to do this? How does anyone do this? When the economy slowed down, we were hanging on by a thread. The Biden-Harris administration is really working hard to lower the barriers. Biden is investing in businesses like ours. It's incredible to have somebody advocating for small businesses. It's never been that way.
Things have gotten better and better. We've opened a new location.
We're hiring new people. Our family's costs are going down. Biden is turning things around because he cares about working people.
Families like us, business owners like us.
This administration is getting things done.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Do you want free?
How many takes it took him?
Transfer old underwear for a free pair of
But Modi would take one take.
trading underwear trading event April 6th at your Duluth Trading Store.
I'll taste it on my own. If I can run the server on my laptop, the backend, I'll I'll run it on my back. I don't need their infrastructure. But basically the deployment is done.
Snap your W-2 and file your taxes 100% free with TurboTax Free Edition. Roughly 37% of taxpayers qualify. 1040 and limited credits only. Get the TurboTax app now.